Hi, good day everyone. Welcome to SILKWAY School-LYCEUM Virtual Lessons. This is your practical English class with me, Sir Murphy. So today, dear students, we're going to do a reading and writing activity. So these are our learning objectives. So at the end of this lesson, the students must be able to 1. Learn how to write a post on a class forum. 2. Acquire tips and ideas on how to write a post on a class forum. And 3. Write his or her own posts on a class forum. So before we begin with our reading activity, let us do our preparation activity first. So this is what are you going to do. You need to match the definitions A to F with the vocabulary 1 to 6. So you have 2 minutes to accomplish this activity, and then afterwards, we will do our reading activity. Are you ready? Let's begin. Your 2 minutes starts now. Okay, so I hope you finished the activity within the given time. So now let's find out the answers. So our first vocabulary here is to plot. What do you think is the meaning of this vocabulary word? To plot means? Correct, it's letter E. To make a secret plan with other people to do something bad or illegal. How about number 2? To blow up. It is? You're right, it's letter C, to destroy something in an explosion. And number 3, an explosive. Yes, that's right, it's letter D, a substance that explodes if it catches fire. Okay, number 4, a bonfire. So this is a big fire, it's letter B, a big fire that people build outside. How about number 5, to torture? Yes, that's right, it's letter F. So to torture means to cause great pain to someone, normally to get them to share information, to punish them, or to be cruel. And number 6, a tradition. Yes, that is letter A, something that people have done for many years. Okay, so I think you are all ready to do our reading activity. So in our reading activity, you need to read this text for 2 minutes. Then afterwards, we will all read it together. Are you ready? Okay, your 2 minutes starts now. Okay, time is up. So now, let us all read the text together. Are you ready? Let's begin. So cool to read about everyone's home tradition they miss the most. I'm from England, but I've been living in the States for 5 years. And the thing I miss the most is bonfire night on November 5th. The best thing about bonfire night is the fireworks. Oh, and the bonfires and the history behind it. Basically, Guy Fawkes and his friends tried to blow up the House of Parliament and kill King James I. They nearly did it too. They hired a room under the House of Parliament and filled it with explosives. But someone told the royal palace. The authorities found Guy Fawkes in the room guarding the explosives, and he was sentenced to torture and death. So, it's a tradition that celebrates the fact that the king survived. It also means people don't forget what happens if you plot against your country. There's a kind of poem about it that starts, Remember, remember, the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. That's why we built a life-size model of Guy Fawkes, and burn it on the bonfire. Pretty dark and horrible when you think about it. So this is our text for today. This is an example of a post in a class forum. So now, let us proceed with the writing tips. So how can we write a good commentary or post in a class forum? So we have the following tips. 1. It's nice to start by saying something that shows you have read other people's posts. Next one, in a class forum, you can be quite informal. Number 3, in informal writing, you can sometimes miss out the beginning of a phrase. For example, so cool to read about everyone's home tradition. So as you can see, we missed out the word it's or it is. It is so cool to read about everyone's home tradition. So this kind of writing is informal writing. Next, remember, in a forum, you are part of a long conversation with a lot of other people, so they might ask you questions. So you need to be well versed when it comes to your ideas and to the topic of discussion for you to converse with them properly or for you to respond to them properly. Okay, so now let's try to do our first task. So this is a true or false activity. So you just need to identify whether the 6 sentences here are true or false. Are you ready? Well then, so if you are all ready, let's begin. You have 2 minutes to answer this. Your timer begins now. Okay, so time is up. Now, let us try to give the correct answers in our first task. Number 1. The writer is American. Is it true or false? What is your answer? It is false. Why? Because the writer is English. He lives in England. So we call the people who live in England English. Next, number 2. Bonfire night is celebrated in autumn in the UK. It is true or false? The answer is true. Number 3. Guy Fawkes wanted to blow up the royal palace. Is it true or false? It's false. Because Guy Fawkes and his friends tried to blow up the House of Parliament and kill King James I. Next, it's false. Number 4 is false. Guy Fawkes' plan worked. It didn't. Because someone told the royal palace and the authorities found and arrested Guy Fawkes. Number 5. Bonfire night is a warning as well as a celebration. Is it true or false? It's true. And number 6. Guy Fawkes wanted people to remember him on 5th of November. What do you think is the answer? Is it true or false? It is false. Why? Because 5th of November became a tradition to celebrate the fact that the king survived. It also means people don't forget what happens if you plot against your country. So that is our first task. So I hope you got all 6 correct answers. Now, let's move on to our second task. What you need to do with this task is to circle the best answers. Now, you have 1 minute to answer this slide and another 1 minute to answer another slide. So your 1 minute starts now. So time is up. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, another 1 minute is given to you. Your timer starts now. Okay, so time is up. Now, let's try to answer our second task. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. What is the purpose of the first sentence in this post? A. To show the writer has read other posts. B. To say what the post is going to be about. Or C. For the writer to introduce themselves. Is it A, B, or C? The answer is A. To show the writer has read other posts. Number 2. Which word is missing from the first sentence? Is it A, there, B, I'm, or C, it's? What is your answer? It is letter C, it's. Very good. How about number 3? What does the writer describe as dark and horrible? Is it A, trying to blow up the Houses of Parliament? B, burning a model of Guy Fawkes? Or C, having a party in Britain in November? What is your answer? It is letter B, burning a model of Guy Fawkes. Now, let's move on. How about number 4? Which thing does not show the writing is informal? Again, does not show. Is it letter A? The writer talks directly to the reader using you. B. The writer sometimes uses sentences that are not complete. Or C. The writer gives some information about the history. And what is your answer? Letter C, correct. The writer gives some information about the history. So this is not showing that the writing is informal. Number 5. What does the word basically mean at the beginning of a sentence? Is it A, the writer is going to give a summary? B, the writer is going to give a lot of details? Or C, the writer doesn't know all the details? And your answer is A, correct. The writer is going to give a summary. So once again, basically means the writer is going to give a summary. Next, number 6. It's not okay for readers of the post to A, be rude to the writer. B, ask questions about bonfire night. C, ask questions about July 4th. What is your answer? A, correct. Be rude to the writer. So it's not okay for readers of the post to, again, it's letter A, be rude to the writer. So I hope you got all 6 correct answers. Good job, students. Now, let's move on to our third task. So for our third task, what you need to do is to write one word to fill each gap. So you need to write a word here to fill each gap. So this activity is a piece of cake for you if you understand our text. Are you ready? Let's begin. So once again, you have 2 minutes to answer this. Your timer starts now. Okay, so your time is over. Now, let's find out the answers. Number 1. I'm Australian, but I've blank living in the UK for 2 years. What do you think is the correct word to fill the gap? The answer is been. I'm Australian, but I've been living in the UK for 2 years. Very good. Next, how about number 2? Bonfire night is celebrated blank 5th November. What is your answer? On. Bonfire night is celebrated on 5th of November. How about number 3? The most interesting thing blank bonfire night is the history behind it. And your answer is about. Very good. The most interesting thing about bonfire night is the history behind it. Number 4. Guy folks tried to blow blank the Houses of Parliament. And the answer is up. Blow up. Guy folks tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. How about number 5? He blank caught guarding the explosives. And the answer is was or got. He was caught guarding the explosives. Or he got caught guarding the explosives. And number 6, bonfire night reminds people of blank happens if you plot against your own country. And the correct answer is what? Bonfire night reminds people of what happens if you plot against your own country. Did you get all the correct answers? Very good. Okay, so now dear students, I have a task for all of you. In the comment section down, I want you to write what tradition do you like best from your country. This is my challenge to you, and I hope that you will write it down in our comment section. So thank you for listening to our lesson for today. So again, credits to British Council for the materials that we have used in our lesson for today. And of course, Audio Library, music for content creators, for our music. Now, and of course, please do like our videos. Write your suggestions and comments. And of course, please do subscribe and ring the bell button. So once again, this is your practical English teacher, Sir Murphy. Have a nice day, everyone.